Have you ever looked out at your garden, or maybe just down the street to a neighbor's house, and felt it was a world away? Not because of the distance, of course, but because of your own two legs. That heavy, swollen feeling in your ankles at the end of the day. It's more than just a nuisance, isn't it? It's a quiet alarm bell. A soft but persistent signal that your freedom to move, the most precious thing we have, is slowly and silently being taken away from you. For years, I've heard hundreds of my patients say the same thing, with a sigh. Well, I guess this is just getting old. But today, as your doctor, I want to tell you something important. The real culprit isn't always old age. It's something we can address, something we can begin to fix, right from our own kitchens. This isn't just a theory for me. A few months ago, a handwritten letter arrived from Eleanor, a dear patient of mine, 78 years old. She wrote just one line that has stayed with me ever since. "Doctor," she said, "I miss the days I could walk to my garden." That single sentence. It sent me searching for a real answer. That search led me all the way to Japan. And in this video today, we're not going to talk about another expensive pill or a complicated procedure. Instead, I'm going to share with you 6 simple, comforting, natural foods that have helped elders their walk strong, well into their 90s. We're going to learn how to nourish your joints and reduce that swelling from the inside out. And please, make sure you stay with me until the very end. Because the 6th food I'll reveal is the most surprising. It's a bit strange looking, and it contains no collagen at all. Yet, it holds the secret key to helping your body repair itself. What I'll share in that final section could truly change how your legs feel, for good. Everything I'm about to share with you doesn't come from a textbook. It comes from real conversations. From sitting in the kitchens of some of the healthiest older folks I have ever met. This is wisdom, passed down through generations, and now I want to pass it on to you. Before we dive in, I truly want to know how many of us have faced this. If what I've just shared feels familiar to you, if you've ever felt that your world was shrinking because of pain or swelling, please take a moment to comment a simple yes below. It lets me know that you understand. And more importantly, it shows others in our community that they are not alone. Okay, let's get started. Alright, let's dive into our first healing food. Food number 1. Chicken cartilage, the forgotten treasure. Think about the last time you enjoyed a piece of chicken. Maybe a roasted chicken from the grocery store, or some fried chicken on a Sunday afternoon. What happens to the little bits left over? The bones, the joints, the gristle. For most of us, in most American homes, those parts go straight into the trash without a second thought. But in Japan, and especially for the older generation, what we throw away is precisely where the healing begins. What we see as waste, they see as medicine. And in this simple, overlooked part of the chicken lies one of the most powerful secrets to maintaining flexible, pain-free joints as we age. You see, chicken cartilage is incredibly rich in a very specific type of collagen. It's called type 2 collagen. Now, that might sound a little scientific, but all you need to know is this. Type 2 collagen is the main building block, the primary raw material, used to create and maintain the cartilage in our own bodies. It is the literal cushion between your bones. The smooth, slippery, flexible tissue in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, that allows everything to move without grinding, without pain, without that awful stiffness. Here's why this becomes so absolutely critical as we get older. Over the years, that natural cushion begins to wear thin. It's a slow process, a gradual erosion. That clicking sound you might hear when you climb the stairs, that little pop in your knee when you stand up after sitting for a while, that is the sound of those cushions losing their density. It's the source of that deep, aching pain that can turn a simple walk into a challenge. It's the reason why that morning stiffness can make just getting out of bed feel like a monumental effort. Your body isn't failing you. It's simply running low on the specific materials it needs to repair itself. And by consuming a food rich in type 2 collagen, you are delivering those essential building blocks directly to the places that are crying out for them the most. Let me tell you about one of my patients, a wonderful woman named Brenda, a retired librarian from California. For years, she struggled with clicking knees and tight hips. She spent a good $50 a month on supplements that didn't seem to do much. So, I suggested she try something different. I told her to start making a simple, cartilage-rich broth once a week. A few months later, she came into my office, and she had a different light in her eyes. She said to me, and I'll never forget her words, she said, "Doctor, it's not some miracle. I don't feel 21 again." She laughed. "But getting up from the couch, it isn't a fight anymore." That is the kind of gentle, steady healing we're talking about. A fight that is no longer a fight. Now, I know what you might be thinking. You don't have to go out and start grilling chicken cartilage like they do in a Japanese tavern. There is a much simpler, more comforting way to bring this into your life. The next time you're at the grocery store, look for chicken feet or even chicken necks. They are incredibly inexpensive, usually just a couple of dollars for a whole package. Take them home, put them in a pot with some water, a few slices of ginger, maybe a green onion, and just let them simmer on low for a few hours. The result is a light, golden, deeply nourishing broth. You don't need to eat the parts themselves. Just sip a small warm cup of that broth each day. It's a simple, ancient ritual of self-care. It's a message you send to your joints, telling them that help is on the way. So, if this idea of nourishing your joints from the inside out resonates with you, please take a moment and comment the word joints below. Alright, let's move on to our second healing food, and this one might just surprise you. Food number 2. Fish skin, the overlooked superfood. Now, I want you to be honest with yourself for a moment. When you prepare a beautiful piece of salmon or mackerel, what is the very first thing you're often tempted to do? For so many people I've spoken to, it's to peel off the skin and set it aside. We've been conditioned, over many years, to think of the skin as the fatty, unhealthy part. The part to avoid. But I'm here to tell you, as your doctor, that this is one of the biggest nutritional mistakes we make, especially if you are one of the millions of people who struggle with swollen legs and that heavy, tired feeling at the end of the day. Tossing out that fish skin is like throwing away a precious, natural medicine. A medicine that directly addresses one of the root causes of poor circulation in older adults. So, let's talk about why. It comes down to a specific kind of collagen. This time, it's type 1 collagen. If you remember, the type 2 collagen in chicken cartilage was for the cushions in our joints. Type 1 collagen is different. It's the collagen of structure. It's the primary building block for your skin, your tendons, and most importantly, for our conversation today, your blood vessels. All of them. Think of the collagen in your veins and arteries as the flexible, elastic fibers within the walls of a hose. When the hose is new, it's strong but pliable. It expands and contracts easily with the flow of water. Now, here is the core reason why this becomes so essential as we age. Over time, we naturally lose this type 1 collagen. And when that happens, the walls of our blood vessels start to become less elastic. They get stiffer, more brittle, like an old rubber band that has lost its snap. This creates a serious plumbing problem in the body, particularly in our lower legs. Your heart is constantly working to pump blood down to your feet, but the real challenge is getting all that blood back up against the pull of gravity. The tiny valves in your veins and the flexible snap of the vessel walls are what help push it along. When those walls become stiff, the system becomes inefficient. Blood and other fluids start to pool in your lower legs and ankles. This is the direct cause of so many of those familiar symptoms. Does this sound familiar to you? That puffiness around your ankles that's worse in the evening? The deep, red lines your socks leave on your skin that seem to last for hours? Or just that dull, heavy, achy feeling in your calves after you've been sitting or standing for a while? That isn't just gravity or old age. That is a direct signal from your circulatory system. It's a sign that the very structure of your blood vessels is calling out for the raw materials it needs to maintain its flexibility. I saw this wisdom in practice so clearly one winter when I visited a small, windswept seaside town in Hokkaido, Japan. I was invited to have lunch at the home of an 86-year-old retired fisherman. He served a simple meal. Just some rice, pickled vegetables, and a beautiful piece of grilled mackerel with the skin perfectly, wonderfully crisped. As we ate, he told me that he and his wife had eaten fish like this almost every day of their lives. He tapped his knee and said something I'll never forget. He said, "The skin, it makes the knees feel softer." Now, he wasn't a scientist, but his body knew the truth. The collagen from the skin was supporting his joints, yes, but also the vast network of blood vessels that delivered life and oxygen to them. This man still climbed the stairs in his 2-story home 3 or 4 times a day, with no trouble at all. And the benefits go even beyond collagen. Fish skin is also a concentrated source of omega-3 fatty acids. Think of chronic low-level inflammation as a kind of silent fire burning in your joints and tissues, contributing to pain and swelling. Omega-3s are one of nature's most powerful anti-inflammatories. They help to put out that fire. So when you eat the skin, you get a powerful 2-part punch. The collagen to rebuild the structure, and the omega-3s to calm the inflammation. So please, let's start a new habit. The next time you bake, broil, or pan-sear a piece of salmon or mackerel, make a promise to yourself to keep the skin on. Cook it skin side down first, until it becomes wonderfully crispy, almost like a potato chip. You don't need fancy sauces. Just a sprinkle of sea salt and a squeeze of lemon, just like in that humble Japanese kitchen. It's a simple, delicious act of profound self-care. It's turning what was once considered waste into a cornerstone of your health. If you're willing to give this wonderfully simple idea a try, please comment the word skin below. It's a way of making a small commitment to yourself right now. Let's move on to our third healing food. This one is perhaps the most humble, the most common, and yet it may be one of the most profoundly important daily rituals for the health of your entire body. Food number 3. Miso soup with wakame, the gut's healing broth. In most American households, we think of soup as an appetizer, a little something to have before the main meal. But there's something sacred about how so many Japanese people, especially the elderly, begin their day. Not with a jolt of caffeine or a rush of sugar, but with warmth. A quiet, simple bowl of miso soup. The steam rises softly, and the scent of fermented soy and the sea mingles in the air. It's not loud. It doesn't demand attention. And yet, it heals. Now, here is the critical thing I want you to understand. Miso soup does not contain any collagen. Not a single gram. So why are we talking about it? Because it performs a role that is arguably even more important. It creates the perfect environment inside your body for you to build your own collagen and to effectively fight the inflammation that causes pain and swelling. To understand this, we have to talk about your digestive system. Your gut. Think of your gut as a factory. You can have all the best raw materials in the world. The collagen from chicken cartilage, the omega-3s from fish skin. But if the factory machinery is old, rusty, and inefficient, those materials will never get processed. They'll never be turned into the finished product your body needs. The key to making the factory run smoothly is probiotics. And miso, which is a fermented soybean paste, is one of the richest natural sources of these beneficial probiotics. These tiny helper bacteria are the workers in your factory. They ensure that you can break down your food properly and, most importantly, absorb all the crucial vitamins and amino acids, like glycine, proline, vitamin C, and zinc, that are the essential building blocks of collagen. Here is the core reason this becomes essential for us as we age. As the years go by, our digestive system naturally becomes less efficient. Our internal factory slows down. We produce fewer digestive enzymes, and the balance of good bacteria in our gut can be easily disrupted. This means that even if you are eating healthy foods, you may not be getting the full benefit from them. This is a silent, hidden cause of so many age-related issues. Miso soup, with its gentle dose of probiotics, is like a daily tune-up for your internal machinery. It helps to restore that healthy balance. But the soup has another secret weapon, that silky green seaweed you often see floating in it, called wakame. Wakame is loaded with essential minerals, but one in particular is crucial for anyone dealing with swelling: magnesium. Magnesium plays a vital role in regulating fluid balance in the body, helping to combat the fluid retention that leads to puffiness in the ankles and legs. When you put these two together, the gut-healing miso and the mineral-rich wakame, you create a powerful synergy. A healthier gut leads to less chronic, systemic inflammation throughout your entire body. Less inflammation means less pain in your joints. And a better mineral balance means less swelling in your legs. It is all connected. I saw the profound, quiet power of this simple food when I visited a small clinic outside of Nara. I met an elderly woman there who was recovering from 2 strokes and was slowly, painstakingly learning to walk again. I watched as her daughter brought her a small bowl of miso soup. Her hands trembled as she lifted the bowl to her lips, but her eyes were so bright, so full of life. She spoke to me softly, and her daughter translated. She said, "The soup gives me strength." She paused and then added, "Not in big ways, but enough to stand a little longer each day." There is something deeply psychological about this soup as well. The warmth signals safety. The fermented flavor is deeply satisfying. It is, in many ways, Japan's version of chicken soup, a food that says, "You are being cared for." And you can bring this simple ritual into your own home so easily. Just gently heat some water in a pot. Never let it come to a rolling boil, as that can harm the delicate probiotics. In a small bowl, mix a spoonful of miso paste with a little of the hot water to dissolve it, then stir it back into the pot. Add a few pieces of rehydrated wakame and some cubes of soft tofu. That's it. The magic is in its beautiful simplicity. To remember that all healing begins with a healthy digestive system, please take a moment to comment on gut health below. It's a reminder that caring for your gut is one of the most important acts of self-care you can perform. Alright, let's talk about our fourth healing food. And this one is pure, slow-cooked comfort. It is the very definition of food as medicine. Food number 4. Beef tendon stew. The joint-soothing comfort dish. In the colder months in Japan, when the air grows crisp and the days become short, kitchens begin to fill with a slow, savory, and deeply satisfying aroma. It's the smell of gyusuji nikomi, or beef tendon stew. Now, I know that for many of us here in America, the idea of eating beef tendon might seem unappealing. When you see it raw in an Asian market or a butcher shop, it looks tough, rubbery, and a little strange. It is not a food of convenience. It is not fast. But when this humble ingredient is treated with time and with patience, it transforms. It becomes soft, silky, gelatinous. And it turns into one of the most powerful, deeply nourishing foods you can eat for joints that have grown stiff and achy with time. So, let's break down the beautiful science behind this. Beef tendon is almost pure connective tissue. It is loaded with both type 1 and type 3 collagen, the very kinds that support the structural integrity of your ligaments, your blood vessels, and your skin. When you simmer tendon on low heat for several hours, a kind of magic happens. The tough, fibrous collagen begins to break down and dissolve into the broth. It creates something we're all familiar with, gelatin. That rich, jiggly substance you see when cooled chicken soup turns to jelly. This gelatin is essentially a pre-digested, easy-to-absorb form of collagen. When you eat this stew, you are consuming a warm, liquid cushion. A soothing, internal lubricant that coats and supports your own connective tissues. Here is the core reason this is so profoundly important for an aging body. Over decades, the connective tissues that hold us together, the very ligaments that stabilize our knees, the tendons that connect muscle to bone, they begin to lose their elasticity and their hydration. They get dry. This is the source of that deep ache in your hip that never seems to fully go away. It's the reason a knee can feel unstable, or a shoulder can feel stiff and locked up. Your body is trying to repair these tissues, but it lacks the specific, concentrated building blocks to do the job effectively. This slow-cooked stew delivers those building blocks in the most perfect, bioavailable form imaginable. It is food that functions like a repair crew for your body's infrastructure. I have a very powerful memory of this dish. When I was living in Osaka, a patient of mine, a gentleman in his late 80s, invited me to his home one cold December evening. His wife had passed away a few years earlier, but he told me that he still cooked her favorite winter stew, this very dish, at least once a week. He set a warm bowl in front of me, the steam rising from the rich, dark broth. He saw me looking at his steady hands, his upright posture as he sat down. He said to me, with a quiet, knowing laugh, "It reminds my knees to keep working." In his home, there was no walker in the corner. There were no rows of orange pill bottles on the table. There was just soup. A testament to a quiet, patient approach to health that had sustained him for nearly 9 decades. And you don't need any special equipment to bring this healing into your own kitchen. The magic is in the slow cooker. You can find beef tendon at most Asian markets or ask your local butcher. Simply put it in your slow cooker with some simple aromatics like sliced ginger and onions, a splash of low-sodium soy sauce, and cover it with water or broth. Let it cook on low for 6 to 8 hours, until it is completely tender. In the last hour, you can add some chunks of daikon radish or carrots. The vegetables will soak up the rich, collagen-infused broth. This is more than a meal. It is a ritual. It is the act of taking something tough and, through time and care, turning it into something that heals. If you believe in the power of these warm, slow-cooked, comforting foods, please take a moment to comment the word comfort below. It is a beautiful word, and a beautiful way to think about our health. Okay, our fifth healing food is perhaps the most delicate, the most surprising, and the most overlooked source of joint support on this entire list. In fact, I would be willing to bet that 99% of us, perhaps even more, throw this powerful natural medicine into the trash or the compost bin every single week without a second thought. Food number 5. Eggshell membrane, the secret from the old world kitchen. I want you to picture a hard-boiled egg. After you crack and peel away the hard outer shell, there is a very thin, almost transparent, paper-like layer that clings to the inside of the shell itself. That is the eggshell membrane. And while it seems like nothing, like a fragile, insignificant bit of waste, in traditional Japanese home remedies, and in the wisdom of many rural cultures around the world, this thin layer is treated with a quiet, knowing reverence. Because this delicate membrane is nature's own perfect joint support formula. Let's look at the incredible science packed into this fragile little layer. The eggshell membrane is a naturally occurring matrix, a perfect blend of compounds that are essential for joint health. It is rich in type 1 collagen, which we know is crucial for connective tissues. But it also contains something else. A powerful trio of substances that you might recognize from the labels of expensive joint supplements in the pharmacy. I'm talking about glucosamine, chondroitin, and hyaluronic acid. Think about that for a moment. People spend $40, $50, sometimes even $60 a month for a bottle of pills that contain the very same key ingredients that nature has perfectly packaged for free inside every single egg. Here is the essential reason this is so valuable for an aging body. As we get older, our joints face a two-part problem. First, the cartilage, our natural cushion, wears down. And second, the synovial fluid that lubricates the joint begins to dry up, leading to that stiff, grinding feeling. This natural formula from the eggshell membrane provides a complete, holistic solution. The collagen, glucosamine, and chondroitin are the building blocks that help to support and regenerate the cartilage itself. At the same time, the hyaluronic acid is a powerful natural lubricant, helping to restore moisture and smooth movement to the joint. It is a brilliant, synergistic design. It doesn't just mask the pain. It provides the raw materials the body needs to address the root of the problem. And modern science is now beginning to confirm what wise grandmothers have known for centuries. Several smaller, but very promising, clinical studies have shown that daily intake of eggshell membrane can lead to a significant reduction in joint pain and stiffness, sometimes in as little as 4 to 6 weeks. For people who feel that ache in their knees with every step, or that stiffness in their hands that makes simple tasks difficult, this gentle, natural remedy offers a profound sense of hope. I'll never forget a conversation I had with a 92-year-old female farmer in the mountainous region of Nagano. She was a woman with a face lined with the wisdom of the sun and the seasons, and hands that were wrinkled but still so capable. She showed me a small, simple tin she kept on a shelf near her stove. Inside was a fine, whitish powder. She told me it was a mix of ground eggshell membrane and dried bonito flakes, a type of fish. She took my hand and said, with a simple clarity that I found so beautiful, "Just a pinch every morning for my knees and for my garden." This was a woman who, at 92, still walked her fields every single spring. And this is a secret that you can bring into your own life, starting today, for absolutely no cost. The process is simple. The next time you hard-boil some organic eggs, peel them carefully. Then, gently and patiently, peel the soft membrane away from the inside of the shell pieces. It can be a little bit fiddly, but it's a quiet, mindful process. Lay the membranes on a clean plate and let them air dry for a day or two until they are brittle. Then, you can easily crush them into a fine powder with the back of a spoon or in a coffee grinder. Store this powder in a small, airtight container. You only need a tiny amount. A small pinch in your morning soup, in a cup of tea, or even stirred into yogurt. The flavor is so mild it's almost unnoticeable, but the impact, over time, can be truly deep. In our fast-paced world, This kind of patient, gentle remedy often gets lost. But sometimes, the most powerful healing is found not in a pill, but in the most fragile, forgotten layers of our food. If you found this piece of old-world wisdom as fascinating as I do, please comment the word secret below. And now, we have arrived at our sixth and final healing food. This is the one I promised you at the beginning. And it is, without a doubt, the most unusual on our list. At first glance, Konnyaku looks completely unremarkable. It's a grayish, gelatinous, jelly-like block, often with little specks of seaweed in it. It is soft to the touch, but firm when you slice it. But here is the critical fact. The reason I saved it for last. This food contains absolutely no collagen. Not a single gram. So why? Why is it one of the most powerful secrets for reducing leg swelling and supporting the health of your entire body? Because it does a job that none of the other foods can do. It is a great facilitator, the great mover, the great cleanser. Let me explain the science, because it's truly beautiful. Konnyaku is made from the root of a plant known as the konjac yam, or sometimes called devil's tongue in English. But in Japan, it has a much more affectionate and descriptive nickname. They call it the broom of the intestines. This is because Konnyaku is made almost entirely of a unique, powerful type of soluble fiber called glucomannan. When you eat it, this fiber doesn't get digested. Instead, it travels through your digestive tract, gently absorbing toxins, waste, and excess cholesterol, and sweeping it all out of your system. It is a gentle, internal cleansing. But what makes this food so profoundly valuable for us as we age is what happens after this cleansing. You see, all the wonderful collagen-building foods we've just talked about, the chicken cartilage, the fish skin, the tendon stew, they are all incredibly valuable. But they are only as effective as your body's delivery system. Think of it like this. You can have the best building materials in the world, but if the roads to the construction site are clogged and full of traffic, those materials will never arrive where they are needed most. For our bodies, that delivery system is our circulation, our blood flow. Here is the core, essential reason this matters so much. For many older adults, circulation becomes sluggish. It's a natural part of the aging process, compounded by a more sedentary lifestyle. This sluggish circulation is a major bottleneck to healing. It means less oxygen, fewer nutrients, and fewer of those precious collagen building blocks are being delivered to your skin, your joints, your bones, and your muscles. And at the same time, it means that metabolic waste and excess fluid are not being efficiently removed, which leads directly to that frustrating swelling in the lower legs and ankles. Konnyaku, by supporting a clean digestive system and promoting overall metabolic balance, helps to open up those roads. It helps to improve the flow. Better circulation is the key that unlocks the full potential of all the other healing foods. By improving blood flow, you are ensuring that the nutrients from your food can actually reach the tissues that are in desperate need of repair. It means more oxygen to your aching joints. It means better delivery of those building blocks to rebuild your cartilage. And it means your lymphatic system can work more efficiently to drain away that excess fluid that causes puffiness and swelling in your legs. It brings a feeling of lightness back to your body. I remember talking with an elderly gentleman in the rural, mountainous prefecture of Yamagata. He served me a simple dish of Konnyaku slices that had been pan-fried with a little sesame oil and a splash of soy sauce. He pointed to the dish with his chopsticks and called it food for the knees. He looked at me, his eyes crinkling at the corners as he smiled, and he said, "Every time I eat this, I can feel my legs saying, thank you." You can find Konnyaku in most Japanese or Asian grocery stores, usually in the refrigerated section, sold in blocks or sometimes even in noodle form, called shirataki. The beautiful thing about it is that it has almost no flavor of its own. It's like a sponge. You can slice it into cubes and add it to your stews or soups, and it will soak up all the delicious flavors of the broth. It brings a unique, pleasant, chewy texture to any dish. While it may not directly contain collagen, it helps to create the perfect internal environment where collagen can thrive. To remember this vital connection between circulation and healing, please comment the word flow below. It is a powerful reminder that getting things moving is the secret to feeling lighter and more alive. So, as we come to the end of our time together, I want to bring us back to where this all began. Back to that handwritten letter. Back to Eleanor. You might be wondering what happened to her. Well, a few weeks after our conversation, she started with 2 small changes. She began making a simple chicken broth on her Sundays, and she started enjoying her salmon with that crispy skin she used to throw away. Then, last week, an email from her appeared in my inbox. Her email didn't have many words. Just a beautiful picture. A picture of the bright red tomatoes from her garden. Below the picture, she wrote, "I walked there myself, doctor. Thank you." Seeing that picture, it reminded me of a profound truth. Healing doesn't always happen overnight. It is not a miracle pill. It is a journey. But what Eleanor's story shows us, what the wisdom from Japan teaches us, is that healing is always possible. Please remember this. The most powerful, most lasting form of healing doesn't come from an expensive pill bottle that costs $50 a month. It doesn't come from a complicated procedure. It comes from your own kitchen. It comes from the quiet, simple, and loving choices you make for yourself every day. It starts with one small bowl of soup, one piece of fish, one quiet decision to care for your body from the inside out. These aren't just meals. They are messages. A message of care you send to yourself. And now, as we wrap up, I have one very important question for you. Knowledge is only powerful when we put it into action. So, what is the one small commitment you are making to yourself this week, after watching this video? It could be as simple as, I will try the miso soup, or I'm going to save that eggshell membrane, or I will make a simple broth this weekend. Please share your personal commitment in the comments below. Reading them inspires me, and your commitment will inspire another person in our community to take that first, vital step. And if you found real value, comfort, and hope in our time together today, please show your support by giving this video a like. To ensure you continue on this healing journey with us, and never miss another video full of this kind of gentle, life-changing wisdom, hit that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining a community. A community of friends, dedicated to living our best, healthiest lives, together. Finally, think of one person in your life. One friend, one family member, who might be struggling with pain or swelling and needs to hear this message of hope today. Please, share this video with them. You might just change their life. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy, stay wise, and I'll see you in the next video.